everyone. This is our achievement training, very briefly, to go over where the applications can be downloaded and a few of the changes you might notice from last year. So this is for work that you completed in 4-H from September 1st, 2019 until August 31st, 2020. So it's work you did the last program year. That's what you're going to put on here. You're not going to put on anything that you did after September the 1st of 2020. So nothing in the last couple months. So if you click on the link I shared with you in the email, it'll take you to our 4-H Google Drive, which should look like this. So to find the instructions, you just want to click on this. Let me know if you have trouble opening this or if you need any help. We're going to go over this section first. I sent the link to you as an editor link, so you should be able to make changes. Please don't make changes. If you want to save any of these files, I can show you how to download them. So first, let's go over the eligibility levels. If you would like to save this on your computer and make your own folder for achievement applications, you just want to click here, download. The little arrow down here. Okay, so ages are based on your 4-H age, which is your age on January 1st of the program year. And since this application is for work completed September 1st, 2019 through August 31st of 2020, your 4-H age would be how old you were on January 1st of this year, January 1st, 2020. So if you're 10 years old and you have at least 25 points, you can apply for Clover Level 1, and so on, all the way up until 13. And bronze. The Clover levels are non-competitive, so if you apply for them and you have enough points, you'll get those. Bronze, silver, gold, and emerald are when it becomes a little competitive, and you may get these at the district level, but you may not get awarded them at the state level because each district can only submit so many, and then they weed those out at the state level, and there's a max of how many state people can receive those. So bronze, you have to be at least 13, so ideally you have completed 8th grade and have a minimum of 100 points. Now this might be different than previous years. The ages have been updated a little bit. Before it was grade levels, so now it's ages, and I think the points have increased just a hair. So each district submits 15 applications, and then if you win at district, you win bronze at the state level. Because there's no cuts from district to state in bronze, and you receive a third of your scholarship paid for 4-H teen conference. Now, silver and gold is where it starts getting competitive. So if you're 14, then you need to have 150 points, and each district sends 15. And that's 105 across the state, but only 60 are selected. So it's quite the cut there. And then you receive a 2/3 scholarship, essentially 66% of your teen conference fees are paid for by the state. And then gold gets super competitive. You must have at least 200 points and have be 15 or finished your sophomore or junior year typically. And each district can submit only 10 applications. And our district is very competitive, so every year we have more than 10 apply. And there's 7 districts, so that is 70 applications, and only 30 are selected. So it's very competitive, but if you win gold, you get 100% scholarship to teen conference, and then you also get most of your way paid to attend 4-H Congress in Atlanta, Georgia, National 4-H Congress, which is super fun. And then emerald, you must have earned at least the competitive levels beforehand, so bronze, silver, and gold, to even apply for emerald, and you have to be at least 16, although ideally you would want to apply for this after your junior or senior year so that you have the most possible points you can get. You have to submit an application, a video, and 2 recommendation letters, and only 20 are selected to interview. And then once you interview, only 4 are selected for Emerald. And Emerald gets, of course, a full scholarship to teen conference, a $1,000 college scholarship, and a full paid attendance to the National 4-H conference in Washington, D.C. We have had some Emerald winners in Lincoln County, so this is not an unattainable goal. It is hard to do. You have to work for it. You have to be really good at your interviews. But we have had 2 Emerald winners in Lincoln County, so not unattainable. So those are the levels. There is a FAQ page. Again, you can download over here. Yeah, so there's lots of questions here. If you have any more questions, just let me know. Our deadlines will be a little earlier. You might see some deadlines for state, but we have district judging first, and then it goes to state. And I like to get it a little early in the county so that I can review your applications and I can check for typos and mistakes and double check your math and see if you have everything in the correct spot. So my deadline will usually be a week or so um, before our district deadline, just because I want to help you out as much as I can so that we're submitting the best application for you that we can. So here are some hints guide. It kind of helps you with what the categories are. So leadership is when the 4-H member is guiding or directing a group of people. So like holding an officer position, like if you're the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, reporter, any of that, or teaching a large group. Civic engagement is being involved in your community and local, state, and federal government. So attending Capitol Experience in Frankfurt, going to a 4-H government proclamation signing, 4-H trips to Washington or Frankfurt, all of those would count, but it must be 4-H sponsored. Communication and marketing is like speeches, demonstrations. Marketing would be like if you create a YouTube video, promo materials. And then community action is service learning, actions or events that you use to assist a community need or concern. So this is participating in that. Participation is just when you attend an event. So if you just went to teen conference, if you just went to teen summit, if you just went to camp, if you just went to a club meeting and you didn't have any other outside role, you just went to that meeting, you can count that. We have to be careful here though, because we don't want, if you're supposed to have 100 points for the level you're applying for, you don't want 70 of those to come from participation. We want to see a well-rounded 4-H'er. Don't count an event more than once anywhere in the application. Do not have misspelled words, punctuation, and grammar issues. Do allow enough time for me to help review your application. And keep it electronically. That's why I'd really like for you guys to send it to me electronically, or you can upload it to Google Docs and send me a link to edit and download that. Or you can just email it to me as an attachment. And you can insert as many lines as you need, and I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. And then this is the interview rubric. You really don't have to worry about this until you get to the gold level. But this is very handy if you are going for gold. Look through this. This is what the judges are going to use when you come into interviews. So you can look through that if you're planning on going for gold. So those are all the files that are in the information and instructions. Now to get back to the application, you want to go back here. And so what we have here, that's the main files here that we have in the folder. There should be 4, 5, 6, 7 of those here. And then if you want, I think I've got it set for you to have permission to upload yours here. I can show you how to upload briefly. I have a Mac, but it should work pretty similarly for you. So you just want to drop it here. So if I go and like this is my file here, I just drag it in here and it should upload. See, it'll show you right here. Let's go back to our achievement applications and look at those actual applications. So this is the 2019-2021. So this should be a fillable PDF. So you can't really type on this here or on Google Docs. This one is if you have Adobe Acrobat and you want to download this. And I'll show you what to do. You click here and mine's going to scan for viruses and it has downloaded. So mine comes in my downloads folder. Yours may come somewhere else. And I'm going to open it and it's going to show up here in my Adobe Acrobat. And you just want to type on it. So this is Courtney Brock. This is going to be the easiest one if you have a way to edit PDFs. There's a free version of Adobe Acrobat, I'm pretty sure. And this one you don't have to worry about formatting or anything like that. You just type on it, District 4 if you're not sure. And then let's say I'm going for bronze. It should just let me click bronze. And then I'm going to go through here and start typing all of my things. I went through here and made all these boxes for you. And this is going to be super easy. If you don't know how to figure out any of these signatures, don't worry about it. We'll print it off when we turn it into the state or to the district, and we'll get it signed actually. So don't worry about that if that stresses you out. Here's your totals, right? And so once you get this done, I'm going to save it. And this may look different on my computer, and that's fine. Just make sure you know where you save it. I'm going to save it on my desktop as test achievement. And then I'm going to show you. So now I want to close this out. And I want to go back here and I can either email that or you can upload it right here. So go to uploads. I want to upload my test. Well, ideally it would have your name on it so I know whose it is. And so test achievement, boom, I uploaded it there. If you want to type on it in Google, you want to go to the one that has the .docx. This is a document, like a Word document. So when you open this up, you can do two things. You can download it just like we did with the PDF to your actual computer, work on it in Word. What I did to show you, if you use Google Docs for school and stuff, you prefer to type on there, that's fine. You want to open it with Google Docs, and then it'll open here. What you need to do here, if you just type on this one, you'll change everyone. So the next person that goes to download is going to be like, why does this say someone else's name? So what you want to do is go up here to File and make a copy. And I think I'm doing this all in my own drive, but it might give you an option to copy it to your drive. Do that. But you want to change the name to your name. So I'm gonna pick on Marley and pick Marley Rank. Okay, change it, and that should be a copy. And open in a new tab. Go back here, close this one. Do not type on this one, and then it should open up here. And if you have other applications that you've done, you can copy and paste things and go through there and do all of that. Like here, I think you can just put a check, an X, whatever you want to do if you're applying for bronze. And don't worry about the formatting. Type in as much as you can, and that's why you want to send it to me, and I can help you with the formatting. Now let's go through, and I'm going to keep using Marley as our example. Like this formatting here, don't worry about that. So let's go through here, and I'm going to give you an example in each column, okay? Pretending that we're Marley. Under leadership, this is if she held a 4-H office. So let's say in 2018, Marley was vice president, and she was vice president of the, well, how about I spell? Look, this is why it's great to type in Google Docs or in Word, because it's going to help you catch those spelling mistakes. Look, wonderful. Of the teen club. This was county, multi-district, multi-county or district, state, national. It was county, so she gets 1 point. And let's do 1 point. I'll do another one as an example. Let's say in 2019, she was secretary. She wasn't, but let's say she was secretary of the District 4 Teen Club. Again, capitalize. The District 4 Teen Club is for our whole district, 17 counties. So that one would be a multi-county or district, and she would get 2 points. So you can go through there and add every leadership position that you've ever held in 4-H. If it was a clever bud, though, you don't get any points. Okay? If you need to add extra rows, what I do is I highlight just a few of the rows, right-click, and look at that. Insert row below. Boom, another row. Right? You can do as many as you want. Make sure you tally them up. So she would get 3 points here. Now, what I like to do is every time I do a section, I like to go to the end of leadership and tally them. So this is our leadership totals. She had 3 just now for officer. So I go ahead and put my 3 there. All right, so the next one is 4-H committee chair. Now, the typical 4-H'er may not have anything there. So let's say Marley in 2018, she was on the marketing committee, and it was the function was to market the D4 Teen Club to other youth using t-shirts, right? So what did she do there, right? This is where you really want to put something good in there, okay? And this was, if it was county, she would get 1 point. This is multi-county, so she gets 2. She gets 2 again here, and then total would be 2. Scroll down. Committee points, 2. Okay, we're going to do this for leadership, and then I'm going to go through and give you examples of each section. So if you already kind of know what you're doing, this would be a time you maybe want to skip ahead, or you may be done watching if you kind of know what you're copying and pasting from your last application. So 4-H counselor, this is like a camp counselor. So I know in 2019, well, let's go back because all of hers so far are 2018, 19. I like to go in order. I like to start with the the first time and add them as we go, because ideally you're filling this application out every year, so you'd be adding new rows. Pick a way, either most recent at top or most recent at bottom, but go in order, okay? So I know Marley in 2017 was a camp counselor. So you have to talk, this is not just being a general camp counselor. This is one where you had a specific thing. So the issue is, let's say, responsibility. And how many were in your cabin? 13, 14 counting her. Taught my campers how to keep up with all their personal items. Okay, this was 4-H camp is not just Lincoln County, it's Boyle and Lincoln. So you would do 2 points, because I'm sure she helps some other kids as well. 2 points, 2 points, go down to the leadership total, counselor, 2. Hopefully you're with me and this is seeming not so bad. Okay, next is assisted the 4-H agent, program assistant, or club leader. This is like helping your 4-H agent. You came early to help them set up for something, or they ask you to do something specific, or you stayed late and help them clean up. Any of that would count, but you just have to pick something where you actually learn something. So like a fun thing for Marley is in 2018, she assisted agent cook a cultural meal. So we had a meeting about our trip to the Dominican Republic, and Marley came early to help cook. She busted up the coconut because we were making coco de leche, broke into coconut you want to make it sound a little fancy, to prepare ingredient for recipe. How to cook with coconuts. An unusual ingredient for Kentucky. And this was county, so 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. Okay, it doesn't have to be this fancy. Anything like that. So don't forget to go down to assist 4-H agent. 1 point. Which is sad because Marley helps out all the time, but we're just doing one example. So a 4-H community presentation. This, and you may not have one for this either. This would be like you presented to Rotary, School Board, Lions Club, or others about 4-H. So here for Marley, I'll put, I don't know what year this was, 2017, 4-H recruitment, 4-H actually teen club, you gotta capitalize, recruitment booth, audience, 6th through 8th grade students at back to school bash. Okay, this was county, so 1, 1, 1. Go down here and 1. This okay. Next is 4-H mentor, and this is outside of camp. So if you mentor a younger club member in your club, you can count this as well. So 2016 mentorship focus, mentoring Clover Bud Club member. This is something that Miranda did a lot. How mentor helped 4-Hers. Encouraged members to give a speech and helped them write a draft. Okay. How to work with young children and public speaking. So 1, 1, 1, and go down here to our mentor 1. Next is coordinate or facilitate a 4-H program event. These last two are going to be really hard for you to get. So it's totally okay if these are blank and you can't think of anything. If you think of anything, put it there. I'm going to skip this one. And then I'm going to skip the job shadowing one. But we have not had an official job shadowing program organized by 4-H, which would be pretty cool. So we probably should get on that. And then this next part, this is very important. I'm going to leave that job shadowing blank as well, is extended leadership outside of 4-H. Okay. This is any leadership you've had, but you can only count 2 things per year. So in 2018, maybe you had a national leadership position with another organization. That's fine. Maybe you had 2 of those. So the most you could get would be 8 points per year. So let's say in 2018, Marley was president of HOSA, right? That's like the healthcare club at school. HOSA, she would just, I don't know what it stands for, but it's healthcare or whatever. She wasn't. I'm just trying to think of one, right? So that would be at the county. And then let's say also in 2018, she was secretary of the regional FFA chapter, right? Regional FFA group. I don't even know. So that would be 2 points. So you would have 1 and 2. And then 3 total, right? So you can go back from the time you were 9 years old and put all those things. Again, if you look at my leadership, so I have 0 here, 0 here, and then the extended was 3. If you have 3s, 2s, 1s, and then all of a sudden you have 13 here, that's going to like raise some red flags. You want to be very well rounded. So kind of judge it. If you have a ton of points here and you're really into leadership and you've had lots of leadership activities and that's kind of your jam, then go back and show all of the leadership things that you've done outside of 4-H. And that really shows you're a leader like through and through. But if you're kind of low here, then don't have a ton here. Like we want it to be very equal and distributed well. So now this is where it helps to get it in early so that I can double check your math. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. Now here's another tip as well. You want to go all the way back to the beginning after each section. I have 13 in leadership. So I'm going to go back and there should be, total points. And I go ahead and put 13 here. Okay, so that's leadership. I'm not going to type in anything else as we go. I'm just going to give you some examples off the top of my head as we go through here to help you fill in. And again, if you get stuck and you're like, I can't think of anything for this particular category, then send me an email, text, call me, and I can help. I can tell you, well, we did capital experience in such and such a year. Let me look and see if you're on the registration paper. I have all those records saved. So if you think maybe you did something that you want to put on here, but you're not sure, you can't remember, let me know. All right, so civic engagement. This would be if you went to a Kentucky state capital or a national capital with 4-H. If it's a state capital, you get 3 points. If it's DC, you get 4 points, which is pretty rad. This would be if you toured a Kentucky courthouse or other government building with 4-H. Make sure that you put like you went to the county clerk's office and what you learned, that the clerk is in charge of voting, right? Whatever. This is if you went to a government or elected official meeting. So you can see citizenship is going to be a little harder to get some points because a lot of times our clubs don't really do a lot of this stuff. So this would be school board, fiscal court, anything like that. Okay, so you can count every time you campaign for a 4-H office. Even if you didn't win the position, you can count that, and it can be counted at the county, multi-county, or district, and state, or national level. The next one is if you visit historical landmarks in your county. And of course, this needs to be with your 4-H club. Same thing for your extended civic engagement. So maybe you didn't visit a historical landmark with your club, but you did with your family or with other groups. That's where you can count them down here. Just remember, you can only have 2 entries per year. So you're going to tally those up and then go back up and put your total civic engagement. Next is communication and marketing. So the first one is the communication contest. This is your speech, 4-H talks, and demonstrations. So you want to put everyone you did, and you want to put in here if you advanced to the area level, that would be multi/district. And then if you went to state as well, you shouldn't have any national points here because our company doesn't go that far. The next one would be if you participated on 4-H radio or television ads. So some 4-Hers did radio announcements. We've done some things for National 4-H Week in the past where some 4-Hers went in and recorded a little bit about 4-H. And then for radio, if you have on the radio with 4-H, you want to count that as multi-county or district because our radio signal reaches outside of Lincoln County. People could have heard that in a pretty large area. The next one is print communication, and this is if you've designed a brochure, a newsletter, a flyer, anything like that for your club. And then, of course, I think this one will be pretty popular, especially with some of our team members, is the digital media or online communication. This is if you've made Facebook posts about 4-H on your club or Instagram, Twitter, anything like that. And for that one, you want to put national because it's online and anyone in the world can see it, which is pretty cool. Next is your extended communication. Again, 2 entries per year. So that would be any type of communication event you did that was not a part of 4-H. Tally all communication, total up at the top for communication. And then I think this is the last one is community action. This is where this one it does not have points here. This is where you organize and plan a 4-H community action project. So you were in charge of it. You helped organize the people together. One of our teen club members right now is working on a letter write campaign to send to pair up teens with pen pals at the nursing home. She could count that here, right? This is a community action project. Okay, next is generating funds or donations. So this is all those 4-H fundraisers that everyone has been doing. Next is volunteer service for the betterment of your community. This is not something you organize. This is just all those 4-H service projects you've participated in. And then if you've done extra projects, a lot of times people put Operation Christmas Child here or things you've done with your church or other organizations. Again, 2 entries per. That's it. If you put more, I'm going to take them out. Tally up your community action, put your total back at the top. And the last thing on the application is your involvement. This is where just your participation. And you're limited now. For example, Marley, pretending this is Marley's application, this is her Clover level 1. So from the time you were like 9 or 10, you can only count 20 points. And then level 2, I think this is when you were 10. This is like 11, 12. So those years you participated, you can only count so much participation. And that's because as you get older, we want you to start branching out and doing speeches and demonstrations, taking on leadership roles, getting involved in service projects. So the older you get, the less we want you just showing up to meetings and just participating. We want you to start taking on different roles. So if you have questions here, let me know. The most you can get for your participation is 45 points, right? So I'll give you an example. So Marley, her Clover level 1 age was 10 years old. And let's say she did camp. That's multi-county, so that's 2. Also in 2012, she level 1, let's say she did project workshops. Those are the workshops we have monthly, and she did them all year. So we usually have like 8 of them. So she did 8. That's 8 points. So let's do 2 and 8. Also in 2012, let's say that level 1, when she was 10, she did Jammin' in June was a day camp that we used to have. Day camp. And that would be 1 point. So now, do you see we're already at 11 points. So let's say then in 2000, when she was 10, she also did county fair. She exhibited, you see up here, fair and rallies. She exhibited projects in Floral Hall. That would be 1 point. Okay. And once you get to this, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so she can only do 8 more things, you can go up to 20 points. Then you want to do 2013, when she was 11, level 2, she did camp. Again, 4-H camp. And so that would be 2 points. But now she only has 15 points, right? So you'll definitely, if you are a very involved kid, you'll definitely need to add more rows. But the total here you can do is 45. What I like to do when I'm counting is I do all the level 1, I highlight them, and I make them a little different color. Here we go, table properties. Background color, let's say we want just a different color, okay? You don't have to do this, obviously, but it helps to see the different colors. So this is all her level 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know she can have 20, so I know she's not over her points. And then maybe I want to do level 2. And what was it? Table properties, background color. We want to do a different one. We want to do blue this time. Right? So that, and then you would do level 3. Again, you don't have to. I can add it later on. And then we're almost done. This is, you want to list any other bronze, silver, gold participation. So right here, you can list things you did as a 9, 10, or a 10, 11, and 12-year-old. This is the year that you applied for bronze when you were 13. What participation are you most proud of? You don't get any points for this, so don't waste a lot of time. And then this is your special recognition and awards. So the last thing then you would do is go all the way back up to the top, and you want to put your participation total all this up. She only has 13 right now. And then proofread it, look over it, make sure you got everything correct. And then if you copy this to your own OneDrive, then you want to share it with me. So you want to share, and you want to make sure this says anyone with the link. You want to click here and make sure it's edit so that I can make changes and help you out. Copy that link, and that's the link you want to send to me. Or you can save it on your desktop, go back here, and you can upload it in our achievement application uploads. So let's quickly go over the last of the files in here. You have your application done. Some of them do require a profile. That is the bronze, silver, and gold all require this profile. And you can open this in Google Docs and edit it. But there's a few things that you need. You want a headshot, a picture, mostly your face. List your feature story, just like what 4-H means to you. 4-H projects that you've done. What have been your favorite projects? Any honors or awards you've received, the clubs you participate in, and how 4-H has influenced you. Okay, and there's instructions. These are the profile instructions if you need help, and it tells you exactly how to do that. Okay, what font to use and everything. And then the last one is the rubric. This is how your application will be scored. And this is what we used last year at the district level, send things on to state. So take some time and go through there and look at that so you know exactly what the judges are looking for when they're scoring these applications. Finally, the last file in here is our due dates and links for questions or concerns. So again, you're reporting 4-H work and achievements from September 1st, 2019 to August 31st, 2020. That's just for this most recent year. If you've never filled out an achievement application, go back to the year that you first joined 4-H when you were 10 years old. You were 9 and then turned 10. Count all of that. I'm putting this for the people who have already turned in achievement applications. The only thing you're adding is last year. If you're brand new, go back and add everything that you can think of from when you joined 4-H. If you want to download these items, you can go on this website, and that'll take you to the Kentucky 4-H achievement application site, and there's some more information on there. You can see on here and other documents. That's where I downloaded most everything. And then this is a link again to our Google Drive, and it talks about making a copy. Here's a link to download your app or upload your applications. And then this is a link for the state office for feedback. If you have comments, suggestions for how to make this process easier or things that should be added, visit that link and add your things. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see your achievement applications. Let me know if you have any questions or need any help.